Burt Reynolds is Stick. He was an ex-con trying to go straight. Until the mob murdered his best friend. Now he's finding it difficult.
Why don't you push real hard? You're mighty at the water.
To stick to the rules.
What are you drinking? That regular or Ethel?
Ethel. Now say goodnight.
Stick, rated R. Starts Friday at select theaters.
There we go. That's it. that's
Well, the ending as well, didn't it?
Yeah. They showed it shooting the wrong friend. But
Good
there we
evening.
go. Good evening. This is Stick, the 1985 classic, 40th anniversary. Because I did have the list. It came out, I think we're within a week or so of us doing this. God's sakes, stupid IMDb and its website. Right.
April of 1985?
April 26th. So yeah, a month out.
So 40 years in a month
Yeah,
anniversary.
it's allowed. So a $22 million budget made $8.5 million back worldwide. So disappointing. But it was supposed to come out in 84.
That's right.
But I'm going to start playing it. Have you got a copy or are you going to watch this one?
No, I've got it memorized. Which cut is this? The theatrical
This
cut?
is the theatrical cut, yeah. So 84, Burt films this, gives it to Universal or whatever, Paramount, whatever it was about them. And then they said, this is shit. Here's $3 million, make some more action in it and cut out the women.
Well, let me just take the reins here. Hi, I'm Terence McManus. That's my real name. That's my real channel. And this movie originally opened with a different song. And this has got a kind of almost Beverly Hills Cop type score throughout it. But there was a song at the beginning of the director's cut called Paradise, written by S. Dorff, M. Brown, Snuff Garrett, and it's performed by Jimmy Buffett, who recently passed away. Jimmy Buffett, and he was one of the most wealthiest musicians in the world. He was worth over $1 billion, not from music, from other ventures. He recently passed away. He was famous for the song Margaritaville. You know, wasting away in Margaritaville. Well, in the director's cut, he does the song for Stick, which, funnily enough, Paradise it's called, and you cannot find it. It doesn't even get listed in Jimmy Buffett's discography anywhere. The only way you can hear it is if you have the director's cut of Stick, or go on YouTube and there's the original opening for the director's cut of Stick. It's the only way you can hear it. and I like it. I actually like the song, and I think it sets the tone of the movie perfectly. Whereas Universal adding in this Beverly Hills Cop, Miami Vice-esque score, it sets your expectations in the wrong. It makes your expectations completely misguided.
Well, yes, as you see there, music by Barry DeVorzon and Joseph Conlon, who are the two different cuts.
Yeah. And there's also the inclusion of Carrie Fisher's sister-in-law in the credits.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the original director's cut. And Annie Potts from Ghostbusters, Janine from Ghostbusters, was in their director's cut, and she's been cut out of this version.
Yeah. So very odd. They shot a lot as a tacked-on action ending.
Well, there's scenes throughout that are being reshot.
Yes.
Redone all over the place. It's one of these movies that I would probably compare it to the Justice League, Zack Snyder, that you can sit there and go, oh my God, this is vastly different.
But yes, last year I attempted to do a differential between the cuts, and it was normally you could just get chunks, but this was like tiny amounts all the way through, and then sections that were missing from the original cut that aren't in this, or different angles, different talk, different things.
Apparently here, the BBFC cut this.
The cockfight.
The cockfight, yeah, they cut out this cockfight in their first release of it. Although it makes it into the TV version.
Yeah, weird. Well, I guess the Americans don't care so much. But yes, Evening Josh. He's not seen this one. I'm sure I'm missing. It's not a classic.
Check this out, Gareth. Right, look at the way he meets his friend Rainey here. Right, I've never seen two men meet like this. He actually jumps onto him. Right.
Yeah.
And I noticed even though Rainey's got like this horrible van, right? He's got a personalized license plate on his van that says his name on it.
Okay.
It's really strange.
Ah.
But I honestly think that although this film is kind of a revenge story, it's more so in this version, right?
Yes.
Because they really boost up the fact that he's going to take revenge for his death. I think that him and Rainey were very close in prison.
He does seem very much out to get anyone that killed him.
But not only that, the way I've never seen two men meet like that.
Well, that was I never noticed that when he jumps into legs over and carries him.
Arms, right? I'm not being homophobic, but I've never seen.
Like I wouldn't do that to you if I saw you.
But also, see when he's talking to him in the bar here, he calls him hard on. I've never seen another man call another man hard on.
And they met in prison.
Yeah. And in the director's cut of Stick, there's a scene where when he's in the mansion later and all the sort of snobs are all hanging around.
Yeah. Yes.
And George Siegel introduces him to this old couple, and you can tell he's kind of joking, but he talks about like having gay sex in prison.
He does. He does make a reference. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I do think that there is kind of subtle mentions of that.
Yeah. So let's quick say hello. Ooh, bloody evening. They went out of their way to highlight all the action beats. Yes, in that trailer.
Yeah.
There's not that much, and they spoiled the ending. Regular ethanol. I think is it in the director's cut? He mentions it was water.
Yeah,
Well,
he says it to Candice Bergen, like the next scene.
Oh, Miles loves this film. Yeah, you know you're satisfied when you can call a film Stick. What's the book? Is the book called Stick?
Yes.
Yeah.
The book was actually a sequel. Elmer Leonard wrote a book prior to this called Swag, which featured the Ernest Stickley character, and it shows you how he got on as a bank robber. And obviously, this movie spoils Swag because he's a president in this, right?
Yeah, and that's what's cut out of this version. He's going to make a film called Swag.
Yeah,
about his time.
And I think that Elmer Leonard was quite passionate about the Ernest Stickley character. He liked writing this character, but I think this movie ruined his appetite for writing anymore.
Yeah, he hated the director's cut and really hated the theatrical cut. So yes, this is where they bring the daughter's story. And she's mentioned in the director's cut, but yeah, she appears in the theatrical cut. It's confusing. I couldn't get a video. It's a rare one. This.
No, it's a tough one to find. I'd never even heard of this movie till I saw an old Siskel and Ebert review about 10, 15 years ago. That was my first encounter of it, and they shat all over it.
Yeah, they did that. Like someone mentioned, Gator McCluskey's channel. He always puts their reviews in his videos for the films, and they just shit all over everything Burt did, no matter how good it was. But yeah,
you need to check out Gator McCluskey's channel. That guy is really whet my appetite for Burt Reynolds movies.
Same here. I've been watching him this week.
Yeah, did you see his new one, the one on Heat and everything, and Malone?
Not yet. I've been working my way through just the Stick ones today.
All right. Well, he's done a new one where he features Heat, physical evidence, and pretty much Bart's downfall is as far as a major.
Yeah, this was the last film theatrical he directed.
That's right. Stick is his final theatrical release as a director.
He did one more film that went as a TV movie.
don't think, is that the UK release?
No, I just realised that's got foreign like words in it, but that's the poster that was on the UK release. So this is the European version. But I remember seeing, I probably rented it back in the day. Probably, I think it was only a 15, maybe an 18, but
Yeah.
probably didn't like it because there wasn't much action in it. But that's the poster I remember seeing in the video shop back in the day. There you go. CIC release stick.
Stripey. Oh, I didn't even see that. Didn't even see a stripey version.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on eBay for a start. So, but there we go. it's not worth 36 quid. No.
If it's a rare tape, that's the thing. I don't care if the film is really shit, as long as it's a rare tape.
Well, yeah, it is a rare tape. So, but sorry, that one. Still haven't seen. I watched Malone. I watched Malone for the second time, maybe last year. That one's a more of a canon style action film.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Malone is straight up.
Might be the next one.
Action movie. It's more of an action movie than this. See that?
Yes,
I do think that I enjoy both cuts of Stick. I don't particularly think they're good movies. I think they're misfires, but I do prefer the director's cut. I feel it's like a sort of easy breezy crime caper, whereas this, it can't make up its mind. It's like it wants to be a hard-edged thriller, an action movie, and yeah, it's schizophrenic.
That it is.
But one thing I've got to say, I do like Burt Reynolds in this part. I think he's a really cool character. We were discussing Sharky's Machine and how Sharky was a bit of a sort of flaky character, which is fine, right? It suits the movie. Whereas Stick is so cool, right? He manages to keep his cool throughout the entire movie, and he's always getting reminded of how big his balls are. You know?
Yeah, oh yes.
I think he handles it really well.
But yes, Burt Reynolds, because he can. I think it was. So he shot this, and then he think he did the Clint City Heat.
Yes.
When he got injured and his jaw broken by the chair in his face, so then he couldn't eat solids. He had to drink everything through a straw. Then he got addicted to painkillers. Then he lost loads of weight because he was drinking through straws.
He slowed down considerably because he was doing like 3 movies a year at one point, and they were all doing good business. And then Stick was kind of the point where it was like 1 a year, if only, right?
Yeah, and but then unfortunately, he had to come back for reshoots, and he has a different. Well, he's a lot thinner.
Yeah, there's a scene later on with him and Candice Bergen, and oh my god, he looks skeletal in that scene.
He does. I didn't notice until someone put them side by side, but when I first watched this, I didn't notice. Oblivious.
Yeah, that scene in particular, he just looks so thin.
Yeah, you can see it when they're side by side, and then of course the ending. This has got a happy ending.
Yeah,
but it still plays the same sad song that was supposed to be.
Which makes no sense.
No.
It makes no sense that they play the song that it's like, I don't, was it?
I wasn't ready to be with you. Yeah.
Which is really weird because on the credits for that song, Burt Reynolds gets writing credit.
I did see that.
But when you look the song up on Wikipedia, his writing credits not there, because that unlike the Jimmy Buffett song that did get released, that got released on Anne Murray's like forthcoming album.
Aha!
And it was a single. I think it did quite well in the States, but Burt Reynolds' writing credit looked as though it was removed when it came out as a single.
I guess you probably didn't know that.
What happened there?
So there's Dar Robinson as Mook.
Yes. Legendary Dar Robinson.
Yes, unfortunately, it was after this he got passed away in a motorcycle accident.
And this is his only sort of principal role as an actor.
The studio didn't want him, but who'd worked with him before said he could do it because stuntman acting, which he has to act and be menacing in this, and as an albino.
Yeah, I think he's good. I think he pulls it off really well.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said he was
What the
first-time
fuck
actor in this.
Never seen a guy with bunny eyes before.
Yeah, Charles Durning's big wig and makeup just gives me the giggles. Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. I like him in this. Charles Darwin.
But doesn't make reference to that, does he?
He's better in the director's cut because they make him creepier, and he is the main villain in the director's cut.
Yes.
Whereas in this, they've changed it about where they've made Nestor the sort of Mexican drug lord. They've pushed him into the forefront as the villain with all his fucking scorpions and cut up noses and boxes. Right? They really push it on thick with him, don't they? And I don't know, it doesn't feel right. In the director's cut, he's more in the background and he's cooler. He's kind of like mysterious. I like that. You don't need Nestor to be this big sort of villainous guy. He doesn't need to prove anything.
Michael Myers and Franz saying, the first 30 minutes of this are hard-boiled movie. It shows great promise, but it gets sillier and indulgent. Yeah, and it's when someone mentions George Segal turns up.
Yeah, he is so over the top. But I love the idea of this. I wish he was played a lot subtler, but I like the idea of this millionaire who likes to sort of flirt with being a criminal, right? Yeah. Without getting too close, and even have that conversation, especially in the director's cut with him and Richard Lawson. Burt Reynolds and Richard Lawson are talking about, if he wouldn't last 2 minutes in the joint, they'd have him wearing a dress and all that, right? And I think, I don't know, I think that's kind of what especially the director's cut was getting at. It was kind of about all these different sort of groups of people, whether it was different races or whether it was a different class, all trying to mingle with each other, and at the same time, they're all kind of using each other.
Yeah, because Segal only hires ex-cons to be all his staff, just so he can them around.
He's doing that out of his own sort of ego, and they're also living off of him. And you get the impression that in the director's cut especially, that Candice Bergen's character, she is not really any different from George Segal. She's not as annoying, right? That's for sure. She's still kind of... She's flirting with Stick because he's a criminal, but she when it comes to it at the very end of the movie, where he coldly watches Milky fall off the building, that's when she realized, shit, man, this guy's a cold-blooded killer, right? That's when she kind of realizes that she's bit off more than she can chew, and I like that. I don't see movies do that.
Now, what is going on here? So they set up this deal just to kill his mate?
So Nestor, the drug lord, has a deal with Chucky that he gives him a life for, because he fucked up a drug deal earlier with some...
now it's coming back.
He's sent Stick and Rainey. They are just to be executed, basically.
Right.
But this action sequence is terrific, and a lot, I suppose, similar to Sharky's Machine, is that it sets you up. It sets your expectations up wrongly, because you're thinking, "Wow, this movie is just going to be balls to the walls action."
Yeah, revenge to where he's going around killing everyone.
Yeah.
Now Burt was nearly blinded with this stunt when Moki shoots the car. He goes around it, and then the window's open on the last shot. Whatever it was, hit Burt in the eye. The wadding or something from the blanks hit Burt right in the eye and nearly blinded him. But he recovered from that.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a Burt Reynolds movie if he didn't get injured in it, would
it? Well, exactly. Because I watched the Gators Stroker Ace video, where he could have done Terms of Endearment and won an Oscar, guaranteed, or do Stroker Ace for his friend Hal. And instead of saying to Hal, which he's mentioned he regrets now, saying just hold off on making Stroke Race. Let me do this terms with him, and then I'll be with you. But yeah, he just decided to do it.
Stroker Race, it's got to be the scene with Lonnie Anderson's unconscious on the bed, though. That is just what?
Hey, Burt winks at the camera.
yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Well, this scene's different in the sense the action scene's pretty much identical, but in this they really send it home that these guys have burnt to death. In the director's cut, they don't have that. You hear them screaming like that shot there. They're like, that's them burning to death. Whereas the director's cut doesn't have that. You get the impression that maybe they got away. And because the director's cut is a low-key crime thriller that wouldn't have felt out of place if it was out in the 90s, but in the 80s it was just so out of place. And you've got to understand as well that 1984, this was about to come out, I think, in late summer. Originally, it was planned.
Yeah, because
and
Sam says it's up against the big hitters.
Yeah, so it would have been up against them. So it probably struggled against that lot, right? But also, you got to remember, Miami Vice came out in like September on television, and Beverly Hills Cop came out in December. So in 1 year's time, this is old hat. So you can kind of understand Universal going, right, we need to give it a really big, powerful synthesizer score. We need to have more violence. You know, drug dealers are scary in Florida, so we need to make them scarier. And,
Yeah. So, yeah, this came out the same year as Invasion USA and Death Wish 3, Rambo Fire, Rambo 2, Commando. Some tough. Mad Max 3 is what people were after.
Oh, yeah.
View to a Kill.
You can move from Mad Max 3 in 85. That and Rambo were everywhere.
Yeah. Runaway Train, Daryl, where is it? Red Sonja, Mystic, Avenging Angel. Jim Carter seems to have beaten this. Can't be that bad. No, must have missed it. No, maybe. Code of Silence. Stick. Where's? Oh, I got stuck. Not stick. Stick. I can't spell for shit. 96 of the year. After Secret Admirer, I had a twice a lifetime. So it was beaten by, or it beat Red Sonja.
Red Sonja?
And Jim Carter. Yeah. The Ghostbusters re-release in 85 beat this. So, Josh was close, 106. 10 out. Yep. But yeah, even Brazil, the big bomb that was, beat this.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Was the director's cut of Stick? Was it? Yeah, because it hasn't come out officially.
It's never been released officially. It was just shown on the BBC one time in the late 80s. They put on the wrong cut. And
yes.
some
which is
people.
Good.
So it's still as violent as the version. There's nothing cut where it comes to violence, but speak of the devil, there he is.
Yes, I was going to say, there he is, the man himself. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
So, yes, check out Gator's videos about anything Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yes, cheers to Gator.
Yeah, you want to know what Burt Reynolds had for breakfast in 1982?
Yeah, somehow he knows. He's got all the videos, all the interviews, all the Siskel and Ebert reviews.
This is all a new scene, and that's what I don't like about the theatrical cut is they really send it home like I needed a life for a life, and he opens up the box and there's a severed nose in there, and I feel it kind of undercuts Chucky. Chucky's meant to be our main villain. That's who Burt Reynolds has the rivalry with, right? So that's who he's on a collision course with. And I feel that when they introduce Nestor a bit more, they bring more Nestor into it, it kind of diffuses this rivalry. And I feel that Stick makes him look a bit of a dumbass that he's chasing after Chucky the whole time. Right? Whereas in the director's cut is a definite, I'm going to get you and I've got my sights on you. And also, there's a scene in it where Annie Potts, because she plays like an assistant to a film producer.
Yes.
And there's a scene in it with Chucky, and he just reaches down her blouse and
Yes.
just goes, "Oh, why don't you get yourself an operation?" You know, he just has this. He's just a sleazy, horrible character, and you get more of that in the director's cut. And I like seeing it, especially from Charles Durning, is not an actor that I've seen play
No.
a villain that many times.
Oh, hang on, I'll be right back. You carry on.
Okay, I'm to take the reins here. Where are you putting the kid to sleep? Oh, what's he got?
It's still here. I got my Smokey and the Bandit album.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Hang on, I'll make that big.
that's a brilliant soundtrack. I love the soundtrack to Smokey. I actually prefer the soundtrack to that one than the first one. Not dissing on Jerry Reed's masterpiece, He's Bound and Down, or anything like that. But I love Smokey to the
He's
soundtrack.
down and down,
Right.
get him down and drop him.
Right.
Go, Bandit, go.
But here I'm a Smoking the Bandit 3 apologist, right?
Yes.
So,
This is
I
where
don't know
Burt
what
Reynolds
I'm talking
started with
about.
our
I'm talking garbage.
shows.
Oh, let's do something cheap and superficial. Exactly. Great song. Right?
Oh, there you go. Director's cut is less violent, plays more like a soap opera. Annie Potts, as well, she was cut to the actual. There you go.
Yeah, it's more like a 90s slow-paced crime thriller in the tradition of Elmer Leonard, like Get Shorty. It's more like Get Shorty, I would say. It's not as good as Get Shorty. Stick the director's cut, but if you're putting it on waiting for a 90s type crime caper, it's serviceable. And Burt Reynolds has never been cooler. He's so cool in that movie. And Stick. The other part that I think is really underrated is what's the one? The Man Who Loved Cat Dancing.
Okay.
Oh, he is so cool in that. Definitely
Some
one
of
of
these,
his coolest
the names I
roles.
don't recognize, but yeah, there's another big difference between the cuts. The director's cut has his friend, the Mexican guy, whatever it is, singing a song, a very slow song, but this has, like you say, a Beverly Hills Cop, Harold Faltermeyer song when he's doing his montage here.
And they don't have Mookie searching for him, and it's just Burt Reynolds running around, sort of training or what have you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it makes you think that he's kind of thinking about Rainey. He's thinking, you're going to get this Mexican music thinking about my body.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In any shape, I'm going to need all this energy to beat these guys, get my payback.
So yeah, Elmer Leonard, what's he done? 310 to Uma, 52 Pickup, which came out around the time of this, didn't it?
Love 52 Pickup.
The Ambassador, I don't know that one. Be Cool, of course. Big Bounce, twice. So 310 to Yuma's twice. Big Bounce is twice. Border Shootout, I don't know.
Mr. Majestic.
Mr. Majestic, Jackie Brown, Freaky Deaky, Get Shorty, Hombre, Cat Chaser, which I watched today.
All right. I've still not seen Cat Chaser.
It's very rare. It's Peter Weller and Kelly, was it Kelly, not from Top Gun, Kelly McGillis.
Oh, yeah, Kelly McGillis.
That's why I recommend it. But it might be why it's not come out anywhere. Jackie Brown is my favorite Tarantino film because he had nothing much to do with it. Mr. Majestic, Moonshine War, Life of Crime, Last Stand at Sabre River, Killshot, Out of Sight, which I do really like, that movie. Stick, The Tall T, Touch, and Valdez is Coming.
Oh, I know, he was no slouch.
No.
But they also had that show,
That's just
was
the
it
films.
Justified? Was it Justified? Was the TV show that was an Elmer Leonard's?
Oh, was it him? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is films. Yeah. I love that.
Right, yeah. I did read somewhere that they were going to make Stick into a TV series at one point, but it fell apart. I don't know if they made a pilot or whatever, but it would have been interesting. I still want to read the novels.
Yeah, if I had that, I suppose audio I could do. Burt Hart was with the original cut, but I much prefer the theatrical. Although I'd love to see extended cut with take elements from the original. Yeah,
good point, Gator. See, Tammy Wynette as his ex-wife. Apparently, they shot it. Apparently, there's Tammy Wynette was cast as his ex-wife. They had a scene together, and it's on the cutting room floor. I want to see that. But that's the trouble with Universal, isn't it? They had that horrible fire many years ago. You don't know, and they're quite short to admit of what was destroyed. So you don't know what sort of film reels. I know that a lot of music was destroyed. That was for one, like master tapes for artists. So maybe lose a lot of great movies.
Catch us ago, I had to get the French versions. Most releases are cut to some extent. Yeah, I think the version I saw was cut because there's a grape soda scene. You do get to see Kelly McGillis nude, but yeah.
Oh well, then that's price of admission right there.
Well, but yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes problems she had, and then her and Peter Weller didn't get on allegedly, and then her and the director Abel Ferreira, is it? I think
Abel
did that
Ferreira,
one.
yeah. I do like him.
Oh yeah, he did have Burgess and Candice Bergen showed no romantic chemistry in this film at all. Yes, she wasn't starting over with him. Yeah, years before Stick, but yeah, I don't see what she falls for him. Like I said, she wants a bad boy, but not that bad. That's why she's not ready for him yet.
The character is underwritten, I would say. I think she does bring an element of intelligence to the role. That you do find that she's one of the smartest people in the movie, even though the director's cut makes her dumber because Burt Reynolds goes off with George Segal's mistress. He just goes off and bangs his mistress randomly, which just kind of comes out of
goes
nowhere.
on the boat saying
he goes back to seeing Candice Bergen, and they include this scene where she's having a peanut butter sandwich with pickles on it. Looks like this is your character. And Shuck and Jive. Yeah, there's a song, Shuck and Jive, and that's the movie they're going to make, which is basically just a kind of Ponzi scheme.
Yes, yeah, keep saying this movie's a scam, and then
But the actual film producers are making this movie called Shuck and Jive, which kind of sounds like Miami Vice, weirdly enough, because it's like these two undercover guys in the drug world down here. And then they say something really racist about Mexicans right in front of Nestor, right? So it's like they've just completely scrapped their chances of selling that to them.
Yeah, Burt's off again. Yes, the Dar Robinson documentary, bless him, yeah. He's one of the ones that got me into watching behind-the-scenes stunt work back in the day.
Well, he's got
the Stunt Wars video.
The whole decelerator thing was his invention. Right.
I mean, just for the stunt, he says I can do it. Then he does it twice because he does it once as himself or his character. Then he does it the first time as Charles Durnan's character.
But
downwards instead of upwards, if that makes sense.
But it's brilliantly done. I just don't understand why they have to include dummies. That's the thing. In both this and Sharky's Machine, I'd love to have been in the editing room and go, why are you throwing a dummy in there? Come on.
Yeah, you got the guy to do a massive stunt.
Yeah.
He obviously does it, and then
more than once.
A flailing obvious dummy.
Yeah, I'm puzzled by that. Because this is kind of weird. Because this is the only time in the director's cut when he hears about the whole life for a life thing. Is this conversation, and then in this movie, in this theatrical version, they really drum it in because you see Nestor going, "You promised me your life."
Yeah,
it's like we really need to drum that home. This is why Rennie was killed.
But here we go.
But yeah, Barry Braun, George Segal's character, he is annoying, and he's very over the top annoying.
Yeah,
you think he could be maybe reined it in a little bit. I like George Segal. He's a good actor. I just think
he is. I love him in Roller Coaster.
All right, the quarter. What was it? The Quillerman. What was that one called? Quillerman Memorandum. The Quiller Memorandum from the 60s.
I don't know that
weird spy thriller.
Right, where were I? This actress.
That's Sean McClane's daughter.
That's it. I was going to try and look it up, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of connections in this.
Yes. And earlier on, he mentioned that the creep that he banged his head off the bar.
Yeah.
He had short. He mentioned he had short eyes,
Short eyes.
which is a present term for pedophile. Yeah, and Jose Perez, who plays Rainey, was in that movie. So it's like a kind of little nod to that.
He's got short eyes.
Curtis Mayfield did the soundtrack. Classic.
Yeah, it's as bad as the Commander dummies. They're so well placed. Yeah, just
when you've got Dar Robinson, who needs dummy? Come on, right?
Yep.
The guy is like he's like Marlon Brando of stunts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so much he could have been going on to do.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, where's Candice Bergen? Have we seen her much recently?
Candice Bergen. No, it takes a while for her to be.
Yeah.
I think it takes a while for her to be introduced in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Julie Walters
Yes,
just had a big major success with Educating Rita around about this time. I think she's got an Oscar nomination, in fact.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds invited her to his house in Florida and tried to talk her into being in Stick. And I think he offered her the Candice Bergen part.
Yes.
But she turned it down because she thought it was badly written. She didn't like this character.
Surely not.
Yeah.
So yes, Dar died on a lower summer, which was a comedy. But yeah, then Lethal Weapon was in '87, which has a in memorandum to him at the end. But he did Vamp,
That's right.
To Live and Die in LA, Police Academy 2, Bachelor Party, Police Academy 1, and all sorts of stuff.
To Live and Die in LA, that I just adore that
Airplane,
film.
Concord 79. That's it. That's that one. I just saw his last one. So yeah.
Yeah, $1 Million Mystery. That's the one.
Yeah.
It's a motorcycle accident, was it not?
Yeah, I thought it was outside of
I
doing
know.
a stunt, but people said it is a stunt. I always thought it was outside just going home.
Miles here is saying he can't imagine Julie Walters being in this at all. Do you know what? I think it would have changed it up a bit because he'd already done it. I always think Burt Reynolds' movies are really exciting when he's got a different lead actress, to bounce off of. I feel like him and Candice Bergen, they're comfortable with each other. They've worked before.
Yeah, I see that.
You feel like they're kind of just slipping into old shoes. And I feel the same with what's the chops? The one he's in with Malone, and she was also in Gator.
No. Now you're asking, where's Gator?
Is it Lauren Hutton? Lauren Hutton? Yeah.
Yes.
I feel the same way about her. It's just like give Burt a new girlfriend. That's what I say.
At least he didn't do the Clint and Bronson where his wife was in every film.
Oh yeah, that sucked, doesn't it? Yeah, especially Charles Bronson's wife, right? I mean, I know she was like she's suffered and all that personally, right? I'm not talking about that, but she was a total plank. I'm sorry, Jill Ireland, yeah. Honestly, directors must have been just like, well, as long as we get Bronson in the movie, it's fine. We'll just cut around her.
There is a little bit more of Candice, isn't there? Like you said, but it makes it a little
dumber.
dumber.
Peanut butter and pickled sandwich.
Yeah, she's doing the weird sandwiches. She's doing the deal with the films. There's the ending. Although maybe there's more of her in the ending of this one than there is in the other one, because she just goes, "Oh, what have you done?"
Do you think that's meant to kind of signify that Burt should go find someone else because she's eating a peanut butter and pickled sandwich, and then he goes off to get rid of George Segal's mistress, but he ends up sleeping with her. So you think he's like, well, you don't smell of peanut butter and pickles, so
yeah. Well, she was half cut, so that also helped. But obviously, liking strawberries.
Yeah.
Oh, Teresa Russell.
Physical evidence. Oh my goodness.
I need to watch that again.
No, you don't. It's really boring.
I haven't seen it since it came out, but there might be a reason for that.
It's. At first, I was kind of like, "Oh, this looks really interesting." Burt Reynolds is playing someone accused of murder, and then I'm just like,
I don't care. Put him away.
it's just really dire, and it's a shame. Michael Crichton. I mean, I love Looker, Coma, Westworld, Runaway. They're all decent Michael Crichton movies, and then he makes that. You're just like, oh,
Now you've just sold it, so I have to watch it.
Yeah,
but it was mentioned about doing top and a half earlier by I think it was Josh.
What do you think of the dialogue and stick? It's fine. It's not the greatest. I do like how sarcastic Burt Reynolds' character is. We especially when George Siegel says, "Oh, Architectural Digest. Do you ever read Architectural Digest?" It's like, "Oh yeah, we were fighting over that at the back of the point." It's like the way we just make these like dry, sarcastic comments at people.
Yeah. And the way he talks to this guy here with the car, I don't have to dress up like that, do I? Right. But then they become best mates, and he gets shot. But I can't remember. He gets shot in the theatrical cut, but director's cut. But I can't remember if he dies from the shooting in that one.
He doesn't die in either of them.
Doesn't it? Okay.
No.
There's something different about when he does get shot, though, when I was doing the edit.
No, he gets... But it's just he gets shot so heavily. You're just thinking, how is he going to survive that? I mean...
He gets blown away and then across the pool.
Doesn't he? And... just like... It must have been some high-caliber bullet or something. Maybe a dum-dum bullet.
It's got the Magnum gunshot. But yeah, there you go. Candace is the last scene with Dar on the DC, and she's totally cut from the scene in the theatrical cut. Yeah. She doesn't turn up at the end. They just meet up for a hug later on the freeway. In the credits.
Sandra Locke was nominated. What was that for?
Yeah, it wasn't Rat Boy, was it?
It wasn't Rat Boy.
I saw that trailer so many times back in the day.
Oh.
It was on. It must have been a Warner's release.
Yeah, so, you remember the trailer, but when you try and remember the film,
I don't think I ever saw it because the trailer put me off so much.
You've never seen it? Yeah, I've seen it. It's terrible. It's really terrible. I think it's one of these kind of divorce settlements that Clint Eastwood had.
Yeah, probably.
One of the deals was she got to direct her own movie.
Apparently, he was working his way through all the lovely girls in Tightrope, but yeah, at that time.
Tightrope's another one. Along with Sharky's Machine, Nighthawks, and Tightrope.
They're good thrillers, aren't they?
They're the sort of underappreciated 80s cop stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
No, hang on. Any excuse to show off.
What have we got here?
Hang on. A mess is what I got. Right.
You're telling me.
Most your fault.
Yes.
Got my lovely assassination.
Assassination.
Signed by Jan Gan Boyd.
Yeah.
No,
that's what I want to do. Tightrope, classic.
But that's signed by the writer and director, Richard Tuggle.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah. Lovely books. Yes, VHS Tetris. Pretty much is. Every time I want a tape, it's in the wrong fucking place to get at easily. There's Death Wish 3 signed by Rocky Taylor.
Who was Rocky Taylor?
The stuntman that Michael Winner nearly killed that jumps off the roof on fire because Michael Winner boosted the explosion without telling Rocky. So
then mad respect.
Nearly killed him.
I once found a Michael Winner autobiography. I don't have it anymore, but I found his autobiography in a charity shop.
Nice.
It was signed by Michael Winner.
Whoa!
I know. I wish I had it now. I'd give it to you, right?
But, no, that's yours.
It's long gone. I read the book. It wasn't very good, but it was called Winner Takes It All. That was his biography.
Oh, yeah, Gator fell for it. Yeah, the thumbnail I use with the lovely lady at the video shop that's not wearing a bra. She's not here tonight. You missed the one night Gator turned up. She's not with us.
Yeah, she's on hiatus.
Oh, I've seen Ratman, the critter from the shitter. That's it. Oh yeah, Rent-A-Cop's not good either. Yeah, that was disappointing. It could have been more like Murphy's Law.
Liza, though. The scenes with Liza are all really enjoyable, but and it's great to see Burt Reynolds dressed up as Santa Claus. Right? You know, if you're going to have a Burt Reynolds movie at Christmas, it's Rent-A-Cop.
It is, yes. I think that's his only.
And I do like the Jerry Goldsmith score, because unlike a lot of Jerry Goldsmith scores, it doesn't sound like a lot of his other ones. Because if you listen to The Lonely Guy, which came out before Gremlins, it sounds like Gremlins.
Oh.
I am not joking. There are parts of The Lonely Guy score that sounds like the famous Gremlins theme. Yeah, he was already kind of working that out on The Lonely Guy. Strange.
So yes, the reshoots were written by Joseph Stinson, who worked with Burt on City Heat, and he also wrote Sudden Impact. So
I cannot make my way through City Heat. When I had it on tape,
every time I give it a chance, I thought it's Burt and Clint. How bad can it be?
Yeah,
Clint's barely in it.
Yeah, and he doesn't look like he's trying. And I don't know, Burt Reynolds looks as though
he just turns up after all the fighting's done, and then
I don't like it.
And then buggers off. And that happens about 3 times. For a
City
period piece, it doesn't look like a period piece. You see Untouchables, you think, oh yeah, they've made an effort there.
But that's something I've read, and I've not actually heard it yet, right? But apparently Gilbert Gottfried had rest in peace, had a podcast where he'd interview people, and he interviewed Richard Benjamin, the director, famous actor as well.
Yes.
The director of City Heat. And apparently, I've only read this somewhere on the internet, so it's probably not true, and I'll need to find this podcast, Gilbert Gottfried and Richard Benjamin. Apparently, Richard Benjamin said that Burt Reynolds fell off a makeup chair. That's how he broke his jaw. There wasn't a breakaway chair or whatever. Yeah. And, he's the director of that movie, but you never know.
Unless you were there.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds was one of the producers of the movie along with Clint Eastwood, and apparently it was a bit of a disaster. So maybe he just want to stick it to Burt. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Controversial.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Oh, he's 86. Bless him now. Yeah.
The Benjamin.
Yeah. Hang on. The Bellboy's in. He's in. Sorry, I missed it. Poltergeist. He's one of the helpers of Zelda or whatever her name is.
Oh yeah, Richard Lawson. He was. I think his first movie was Scream, Blackula Scream. He was the guy that got Blackula back from the dead.
He's in Streets of Fire. Producer.
So no, it's Cagney Lacey. Or am I thinking of
Terror? But yeah. Hey, Jesse's here. Ian's here. He's late, but he's allowed in. I've seen 5 Burt Reynolds films. 6, if we count it. Of course, Bean, the ultimate disaster picture. Of course, he was in that, wasn't he? As a general.
Yeah, that was one of his biggest hits of the 90s. Yeah. I think Burt Reynolds must have been so pleased with Bean.
Rent-A-Cop has James Remar playing a far less menacing heavy than he did in 40 Hours. That is true.
Yeah, it's really overkill with that character. Was he like a dancer and he's got this motorcycle helmet on? Yeah.
Yeah, he is pretty crap considering the talent involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a shame.
Yeah, Clint phoned City Heat in, but really tried and suffered the consequences. Yes.
Yeah. What's my favourite Elmer Leonard tie-in? I've got to go with Mr. Majestic. I love Mr. Majestic.
Hey, my melon.
Like you say, Jackie Brown is amazing, right? And it's definitely. I still think it's probably Tarantino's best movie.
Yeah,
more grounded in reality than these other films, where they're kind of more pastiche orientated. But I love Mr. Majestic and 52 Pickup, Roy Scheider.
That was good. I was surprised how good that was when I saw it. It's a canon film.
What's his name? John Glover. He's a terrific villain in that.
Yeah,
52 Pickup.
When you just see it getting out of that hot tub. Yeah.
Oh, there's the daughter scenes pasted in.
Yeah, so this is where he's thinner.
Yeah. He's like a rake.
Oh, cheers for that, Jesse.
Oh no. Oh no. Here's George Wendt. My goodness.
Yeah. Bless. I'm trying to think what else he was in that wasn't Cheers.
He was in Dreamscape.
That's it. I was
He
trying
was
to think
a
it's a
house.
horror light thing. Yeah.
He was the sort of comedy comic relief in House with William
That's
Shatner.
it. That's the other one. I knew he did some horrors. I was trying. He wasn't just in comedies. Well, light horrors, I guess they were.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So I'm showing. Yeah, that's the original.
And
picture.
the absolute, masterpiece of the 1990s, Spice World, the movie. God
Yeah.
went.
So yeah, this is the one that's got Annie Potts. Is in
Yes, that's the original one sheet that they put out in '84, and then they had to recall it because Universal are a bunch of ball bags.
because they advertised. It was almost out, I guess. It was very close.
I'm pretty certain that they were getting payback on Burt for not doing Smokey 3. Seriously, how much of a disaster is Smokey 3? Right? Just like how can you put a sequel to a film and you don't have most of the lead cast? All right, well, okay, you don't have Burt Reynolds, right? You could still have Jackie Gleason and Jerry Reed, but it's an absolute mess, right? And it made zero money.
Yeah.
And
Kevin, I was looking at this list. I've never even heard of Fuzz.
Fuzz, oh yeah, that's from the 70s, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it looks good from the poster. But yeah, I started watching some of his other ones, 80s romantic comedies, like The Man Who Loved Women. I've seen Gator. Rough Cut, of course, he made. Was it the same year as, 84?
I would give Paternity a miss. Paternity is pretty...
Yeah, Rent a Cop.
I quite like Best Friends. Heat.
Yes.
Heat's okay.
Heat's okay, yeah.
Yeah, I prefer Malone over Heat.
Yes.
It's more kind of consistent. And you can't beat the scene with where he's got the newspaper and you think, is that a gun or is it got a boner? The barbers where he's getting his wig trimmed at the same time. Which is kind of stupid in Heat because he actually teases a guy for wearing a wig. Which is like, come on.
Hey, of course he had a real wig, real hair, sorry. I won't hear a word said against it. No one's got any proof.
Yeah.
Smokey 3, you ever Stroke Race? I used to love Stroke Race as a kid. I'd always watch it when it was on telly. I don't know what was crazy about it. Bubba Smith's in it, isn't he? And
yeah. You can't beat the part in Smokey 3 where they go to that weird brothel, though. That just comes out of nowhere. It's like,
that's the only 18
brothel
in the UK.
Yeah, and the music's good. The whole "Hey you, I want to be your girlfriend." Hey you, yeah. I've watched that film way too much.
He wears the fabulous pimp outfit in Heat. I don't know. Did Statham wear that as well when he did the remake?
Yeah.
Rachel Welch is in Fuzz.
Raquel Welch.
There you go. Oh, best Alma Leonard. Out of Sight. Oh, there you go. I do like Out of Sight.
Oh yeah, Out of Sight. Yeah,
I did.
It's all about Out of Sight. That's brilliant.
That's so cool.
That's pretty much the movie that gave George Clooney and Steven Soderbergh a career. Because Steven Soderbergh, although he did like Six Lives and Videotape, every movie he put out after that were major flops. And then Out of Sight just sort of rejuvenated him.
Didn't he do LA Confidential? Or am I?
No, that's Curtis Hanson.
Yeah, the writer though.
Yeah.
Is that Elmore Leonard?
No.
No, who did that one? I always think it's him.
No, I don't think that's Elmore Leonard.
Freaky Deaky. Oh yeah, Count Cisco, the TV series. I never watched that. Yeah. Right, here we go. It's a car chase. We're off.
Yeah, I know. I like this scene. This is in the director's cut. Also, the highlight, which is a sport I don't understand. Highlight. I don't know if it's something to do. Its popularity is to do with gambling. That it's one of these things that you're allowed to gamble on.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Because it's the ball thrown at a wall. I've never understood.
Yeah, I can never work out the rules because they barely show it anywhere.
Yeah. But it's a very Florida thing.
Yes, it's just Florida, right? Isn't it?
Now, this scene is pretty much intact on the director's cut. Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that in the video store and I was like, that looks brilliant.
It does. It does hold up.
does.
This one as an action. Who did this?
It's
I mean,
Orion. Well, it was Orion that put it out, but
Yeah.
it does feel like a canon movie.
It's based on the novel Shotgun. But yeah, Bert's hair is great now. A lot thicker. So it can't be a wig if it's growing, can it then? Yes. Who wants? Yeah. Now we start saying, who wants to see Racker Welch's fuzz?
Yeah.
Yes, the new widget on the right there, but it's in its beta. So we'll see if it kills the
I'll
thing.
let you walk through them. I'm just gonna take a wee break.
All right. Halloween 2, yes. JLC's wig versus Bert's hair and balloon. Saturn remake was a wheelbarrow load of dung. Oh dear. Have you seen Breaking? Oh yes, Breaking In is one of Bert's better films, isn't it? Back in the 80s, teaching a young kid how to be a criminal. Oh yeah, I've only seen 5 Burt films, and only 2 of them where he's the lead. Well, there's 2 Smokey and the Bandits at least. He's in, and 2 Cannibal Runs. Oh, there you go. Great, it's got the rare restored copy of Burt Classic, WW and Dixie Dance Kings. Not any available anywhere due to music rights. Yeah, it's always the fucking music spoils these things. Breaking In is good stuff. Better than Stick. Oh dear. There's a bit in Heat where he fights with Janich from GB2, and if it pans around the back, and if pans around the back of Bert's head. There you go. The song from Smokey 3 is Susie Plastic by Bill Summers and the Summer Heat. I've listened to it more times than I should. Buddy Eyes looks like a character from Near Dark. Albino vampires. Right, so we're getting a tour of Miami Beach. What is this, Miami Beach? Is this Tash even real? Oh, that's a good point. I sometimes wonder if he was snubbed on Oscar's nom for Breaking In. He's really good at it.
Oh yeah, love Breaking In. Directed by Bill Forsyth from Glasgow, Scotland. Awesome.
Glasgow, it's pronounced.
Glasgow, Scotland. And he was also Bill Forsyth was the inspiration for Mrs. Doubtfire's voice.
It's a soft Scot, isn't it? Hello, dear.
Robin Williams had made a film with him, Being Human, which
Oh
bombed.
yes.
Yeah, every Bill Forsyth movie that was made in America completely tanked, including Breaking In.
I've never heard of The End.
See, I like The End, but I think you need to be in a Dom DeLuise kind of mood. That's the thing. If you don't like Dom DeLuise's humor, you're not going to like The End, because that's pretty much his show. He takes over that movie with his lunacy.
Oh dear.
I like it. I do like The End.
I'll have to check it out. I'm gonna have to go through these, aren't I?
Quite all.
I always thought I'd kept up with Burt Reynolds but they only played the famous things on the TV, I guess, back in the day.
Oh yeah, Smokey and the Bandit was on a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
Hooper, I loved watching Hooper when it came on.
Yeah.
And well, that's another one that's, I mean, maybe not in this country, but in the US, they had an extended version of Hooper on television. They got like a really bloated cut of that. I'd love to see that. That is a film that deserves to get a 4K release. Hooper is a really good tribute to stuntmen.
Yes, it is. Even all the stuntmen I delivered love that film. They don't like the full guy.
It is Burt Reynolds at the top of his power, right? He's just off the back of Smokey and the Bandits, like outrageous box office success, and it's like a 1-2 punch, you know. And there's a great clip. I don't know if you've seen this clip of the guys in a burning car, and the director Hal Needham, you know, being a stuntman himself, is pulling the guy out of a burning car. It's like, what film director have you ever seen do that? That's insane.
Because Hal performs these motorcycle slide under a truck as well.
Yeah, it's nuts.
He did that. No, it's fine. That's why I tagged you to get your attention.
No. Go for it, man. Honestly, if you
it's not Terrence's channel.
The great Burt Reynolds, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes.
It is the place to be if you want to just binge content about Burt Reynolds. And I noticed that these
And funny skits too.
Oh, the skits are fantastic, and his music as well. See, I'm so blessed to have that channel because see, before that channel came on, there was nothing. There was nothing. And I mean, all right, there may be a few Johnny Carson appearances or Burt at some signings or something like that, but there was no real content about him. There was no real respect for this great Hollywood actor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was the biggest star of the 70s in Hollywood.
5 years in a row, number one.
Yeah.
You can look it up. No one's ever beat it, and they never will. Especially the fact that the star power in Hollywood is like non-existent. That Spider-Man is more consistent as a he's never going to be beaten. He's never going to get beat. That's the thing. Burt Reynolds. I think it was him, Shirley Temple, and Bing Crosby are the only ones that have had that.
Yeah. Downhill from there. So Mr. Dan and Horace saw his dad saw Dom DeLuise selling hot dogs in Philadelphia in the 70s. He wanted to see if anyone would recognize. Definitely sounds exactly what he'd do.
That's it.
Yeah, Hooper's great.
And Bill Murray's just been copying him ever since.
Yeah, the BBC screening, which is on the Blu-ray. I think it is.
That's that.
Yeah, the German
That's
Blu-ray.
I
think Gator's got his documentaries on there. That's included in that, so you get both.
Yeah, there's a German Blu-ray.
Azorba.
That's got the director's cut on it, but it's only the TV cut. It's not.
Yeah, they've tinkered with it to make it as good as possible. It was a VHS of a TV film back in the 80s. So yeah, it's passable as a watch.
I do like in the director's cut where he's hanging out with the other staff and they're all getting tips for the stock market from him.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting in the car all day listening to George Siegel. So he's listening to what's hot on the stock market and he's telling all the other staff, go buy that stock. And they make that more apparent in the director's cut. In this, they just sort of brush over it and then we're straight into the bit with Cecil.
Yeah. Remember Cecil?
Yeah.
The guy whose job you took.
This is a great scene. It really works. It's really cool. And it does exemplifies how cool Stick is as a character.
Yeah, because I assume his delay is he's siphoning petrol out of a car, but he's not. He's filling it up with water, finding a can, emptying it, and then filling it with water.
But I'm not sure about. I don't know where I've seen this actor before, the one that plays Cecil.
He is recognizable as something, isn't he?
Yeah. The one I'm thinking of is that Michael Crichton movie, Looker, with Albert Finney. I'm sure he's one of the villains in it.
Someone like.
But there's, his long list of 80s moustaches.
It is. I enjoyed the film, but Reynolds. Oh, Franz.
I don't know. I don't know the sort of he does always. Oh yeah. I can't wait to see those outtakes from Gator. Absolutely. Do you know something? Jerry Reed, who I don't think he'd done much acting before. He was in WW and the Dixie Dance Kings, but I love his performance in Gator. I find he's a really frightening villain because he doesn't try to be a villain. He's just being Jerry Reed. Right, the whole scene where he catches the guy in the car and he's like laughing along with him, like, you just know he's menacing.
Yeah. Has anyone made the joke yet? What's brown and sticky?
Oh, well, what's the what do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back?
Stick. So yes, this guy is Tim Rusovich. Unfortunately, he's passed away in 2018. He's done every TV show ever in the 80s and 90s. He's in the Long Riders.
Love the Long Riders.
But mostly
is he in Looker?
TV.
Is he in Looker from 1981?
1981. Let's go back. He's in Alf, Fall Guy, Stick, of course, Avenging Angel, Cloak and Dagger, Oh, that's 84. Right, keep going. The Sting 2,
Oh God.
Night Shift. Look at, there you go, Mustache Man.
Yeah, that's what I know him from. Looker. It's underrated, that movie. Although it's got a gaping plot hole in it. It's got an absolutely gaping plot hole, but I'll just brush past it. Who cares? The rest of it's great. See, I don't. I can look past the plot hole as long as the rest of the movie's
Yeah,
good.
if you're entertained by the rest of them, you can look through it because even the best films have.
Waterboy, was Jerry Reed in the Waterboy? Oh my God.
He's the rival coach, isn't he? I never noticed it until someone pointed out last time we watched it.
I need to watch the Waterboy now.
Outstanding, it.
Yeah.
Good bounce.
Yeah. Bouncing off the wall. Yeah, but he's also like, the thing is, it's really dark, Gator. Like, I find that with Burt Reynolds is all the films that he's directed, they kind of have an element of light and dark, light and shade, but kind of in the extremes. Right? You look at Sharky's Machine, the humor in it is really kind of light at times, and then it's some of the most brutal violence you can put on screen. And Gator's the same because you've got Jerry Reed being this jovial sort of loan shark, and then he's got these like child prostitutes around him and stuff. You're like, hey, wait a minute, right? It just, I don't know, but Burt Reynolds seemed to have this obsession, I think, in all of his films with this darkness, extreme darkness and extreme light. Right.
Yeah, because Gator is the sequel to White Lightning, isn't it?
Yeah, Gator is the sequel to White Lightning. He only
Gator on VHS.
He only did it so that he could direct. Yeah. Right? I think it was his directorial debut.
I think so, yes.
And then it was The End, which is a comedy about dying and trying to kill yourself. That's what I'm saying. It's like light and shade. It's like, right? I don't know. Maybe that had something to do with Burt Reynolds' personality. That he was
Seagull. I remember him from, of course, Roller Coaster. Was it Look Who's Talking and the Goldbergs.
The Goldbergs was the last thing he was in, that TV show.
185 episodes.
Jeez. And
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? 2012, the disaster movie. Cable Guy. But yeah.
Color Memorandum. Is it Memorandum? I don't know.
Let's have a look.
What's that one? You've been in a few sort of strange 70s movies.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the 70s. California Split, Hot Rock, Touch of Class, Owl and Pussy Pat. Yeah. This one's I've noticed. 60s. Rush. Fun with Dick and Jane, of course. Yeah. I don't think he had a good 80s, did he? Yeah. Nothing I've heard on. And the only thing I know from the 90s.
This would have been like with Julie Walters in that part. That would have been really strange.
Oh, someone mentions he's in Joshua Tree with, was it Dolph Lundgren earlier?
Oh, Dolph Lundgren. Yeah, was it you? I saw put on Instagram that he's got a vodka. Dolph Lundgren.
Yes.
Got a vodka.
It's not out in the UK yet, but
yes.
I know the channel that's snagged him. They're going to be promoting his vodka. That's how they got him. So I might go.
As soon as that Ivan Drago kind of vibe of, because he's Russian, Well, no, he's not Russian. He's Swedish, but the
vodka or meatballs. Which one is he going to do? Damn.
She just drops the song at the end credits.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, I'm just going to name drop the song here, Burt. People are never going to forget this movie. Never,
ever.
It's going to be queued round the block. Don't you worry.
Jerry was great in The Survivors.
The Survivors. I've not seen that either. Yeah,
it's not ringing a bell.
Jerry Reed movies.
Yeah, Gator has. I remember. Yeah, Gator being very different from White Lightning.
Yeah, I do like it, but it is dark. The tone. I think tonally, the one that he does the best juggling act is Sharky's Machine, because that whole scene where Bernie Casey, when he's been shot and Burt Reynolds is running away and he's like, Sharky, and then he comes back and he says something and he goes away and he comes back, he says something that could have completely derailed the movie, and it doesn't. it's really quite clever how they put that
Yeah.
together. That scene,
Right.
and Charles Durning's, you know, who else gives a damn? Who else gives a damn? You know, he's just like completely on going to 11 at every moment, and it's still they managed to rein it in.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Marlon Brando hated Reynolds implicitly. What did he do? Who knows?
But I do feel that with all of Burt Reynolds' theatrical films, can't speak for his TV movies or whatever he's directed, right? But I feel that he genuinely took risks. He didn't follow the cliches. And I know you can watch Stick, the theatrical cut, and say, oh, yeah, he did. Look, his daughter gets kidnapped. He comes in with a machine gun, right? But if you watch the director's cut does not follow the cliches. In fact, it subverts them all the time. When, you know, Chucky, who is the person who he has this rivalry with the entire movie, he just falls off the building fighting with Loki, right? And that's it. There's no real kind of you know, that doesn't come down to him and Stick. He doesn't get to have his real payback. And it's the same in Sharky's machine, because Victor, the pimp, he gets killed by his own brother as well.
Yeah.
Right. That's weird, that, isn't it? There is similarities to these two.
Yeah.
And it's like Burt Reynolds will deny you the actual payoff. It's like he will not give you the traditional payoff that you've been expecting in both of these films. And I think that was kind of what he aimed for as an artist, as a director, that he was not going to give you cliches. He was going to subvert them. And I think Stick, and especially Stick, the director's cut, and Sharky's Machine are those kind of movies.
Yep.
They do subvert your expectations, and they both subvert the Burt Reynolds persona as well. Because one thing, this might sound really geeky, right? But you know, in the opening scene of Sharky's Machine, where he's walking, when you first see Burt Reynolds up close when he's walking, not from the helicopter shot, but just before when it cuts into him, I noticed that there's actually a big row of trucks behind him. And I thought to myself, is that Burt trying to tell us that he's walking away from the trucker movies? No more trucker movies. I'm walking away from that shit.
Well, yeah.
Because he was pretty much done with that as a genre. And he made that clear in interviews. And I feel that was kind of symbolic.
So
I look very deeply into films and see stuff that isn't really there a lot of the time.
Well, it might be.
But don't we all?
Who shot Burt at the end of the Hustle? This part of the Hustle
Freddy
is
Krueger. Freddy Krueger. I only know that because I watched Gator McCluskey's channel. I've still not seen Hustle. I'm cheating. Yeah, England.
Charles Durning. I'm doing M.M. Walsh next month as a tribute to the great character, and Charles Durning is the next one, because both of them were just in everything.
I heard of that. And he was a WW2 veteran, a highly decorated WW2 veteran. Yeah. I was listening to the Burt, one of Burt's biographies, the audiobook, and he talked about Charles Durning a lot, and he talked about his father, Burt's father, who they both stormed the beaches of Normandy or whatever at the same time. They were both there, but they were in different like factions or whatever they call it, battalions. Yeah, Charles Durning and Burt Reynolds' dad, and they had like in his book he was talking about how they had this sort of little personal moment together. You know, really powerful stuff.
Candice Bergman shows of her knowledge of not to invest in this film or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, well, they've pretty much reshot the whole scene so they don't have Annie Potts in it, because she was in this scene before.
I thought, hang on, I don't remember her in this when I saw that.
Yeah, they had that whole scene where they were doing the shuck and jive promotion sort of pitch idea, and she's right there, and now she's not, and so they must have did the whole scene again and reshoots.
Yeah.
All those guys had to come
was.
back and get paid. They had to come back and get paid. Just
Yeah, I guess it did. Aha.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't. You know, we could do this scene, but we don't have the bug eyes anymore. It's like, sorry about the bug eyes. Right.
But WrestleMania 10.
God.
Right, 1935. So Charles Emmett Walsh was 50 in Critters. So
I
yeah,
do love this scene. It's like, I'm going to get that $5,000. You know, I love
Yeah.
that scene. It's like, you tub of shit. Yeah. When the way he puts, I love every scene that he does with Charles Durning are excellent. A lot. You feel the kind of hatred for him. And it's just, yeah.
Yeah, Emmett Walsh, 236 credits as an actor. And Charles Durning
Oh my goodness.
has done 217. So yeah, they
Well,
everything they
it's
were.
not far off.
Oh, what's this? Yeah. Okay, yeah, cop with yeah. What's this? Oh yeah, that's it. Jesse said it there. James Woods cop.
Woods.
Hustle is difficult to acquire on DVD in recent years for Paramount. Paid a bit of Dutch for it. So there you go. Stick is. Who is it? Is it
Yeah. Who's in the cast?
the bad guys?
From Miami Vice? Yeah, but I think that was what John Leguizamo said in one of his biographies, was that Miami Vice was like a great place for Mexican and Hispanic actors to get work. You know, because they were always like the drug dealers or whatever. And that's where he met Lou Guzman for the very first time. Lou Guzman and John Leguizamo got to be villains in Miami Vice, and that's where they met as actors. It's like, oh, my God, you know, as much as I felt that the representation was really poor, I got to meet some of my best friends making that show.
Yeah, it's swings and roundabouts.
Oh, this is the scorpion scene, isn't
The
it?
scorpion scene, yeah.
Yeah, we've got to throw some scorpions in there. Really get the audience to hate this guy.
Yeah, because he puts it on a not tied up look to show his allegiance.
Yeah. Burt Reynolds just like trying to
I
look
missed
puffy as you can. it's like just like, you know, you drink like 4 pints of ale just to try and look a little bit less skeletal. Sorry, hey, it was 40 years ago. Is it too soon? Is it too soon to laugh about Burt's broken jaw?
Yeah. Yeah, studio interference, big thing. Less talked about back then than it is now, but
yeah. Burt took all
because he says we had no internet to pass on rumors.
It was pretty much his last chance. His last chance of having some, you know, being at the top of his game, and it was just. That was that. I mean, you look at if you watch Gator's video on Rent-A-Cop. I mean, God, how bad that did at the box office. Right? Okay, Stick did pretty poor. At least Stick opened at number one. I think.
It came out strong.
Number one, and dropped off quickly, right? But Rent-A-Cop was like number 12 or something, and it just made no money. It's really embarrassing. If movies open like Rent-A-Cop these days, it would just you think, what is there, another pandemic or something?
Yeah.
Because it was also bad for Liza, because that was her comeback movie. She hadn't been in a movie since Arthur, and then she comes back with this movie, and
then she does Arthur 2.
Yeah, no wonder.
Yeah, needed a hit.
I'd be doing Cabaret too if I was her. You know,
life is a cabaret, old chum. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's in. It's a good cast in Man.
The Man with One Red Shirt.
It's not hilarious, or
yeah.
And it's Carrie Fisher, Jim Belushi, Loads of people are in there.
I think but Dog Day Afternoon and Tootsie, that's his big ones. And The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, he steals that movie. He's only in it for like 2 scenes, and he gets an Oscar nomination. And the whole dance sequence that Charles Darling does is just fantastic.
It says there, yeah.
And that's another one. Burt Reynolds had a solo, in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and it got cut. It's on the TV version as well.
I was say, I don't remember him singing in it.
Yeah, but he does do a song with Dolly, but he did a song on his own that was cut out and it was just left on the TV version.
Yeah.
So you can get it. It's on. It's to be fair, it's not that great, right?
No, yeah, we're not going to rush out by the 7-inch.
No, it's not. It's kind of a dull song. It's not that Burt Reynolds can't sing. He can sing, but it's just the song's kind of weak. And I'm kind of glad they cut it.
But yeah, we are heading into the big finish here.
Yeah, it is much longer. That's the weird thing. If you think of a studio wanting to cut your movie, you don't expect them to make it longer. That's what I'm saying. Is the director's cut it's a short, breezy little crime caper. It has its flaws. It doesn't have. It gives you that big action sequence in the swamp early on, and that creates that expectation that you feel like this is going to be a balls to the walls action film. And I feel that Sharky's Machine does that as well.
Yes,
we have that scene between Highball Mary on the bus and Sharky, right, which is really exciting. And you've got Burt doing his own stunts, right? It's a great scene, and then all of a sudden he's stuck in an apartment, perving on Rachel Ward, and you do feel that the pacing has kind of taken a slump, and Stick kind of has that as well.
Nope.
Because there's no action scene in this movie. Even in the reshoots, there's no action scene in this movie that competes with the scene where he's escaping in the van with the petrol. That's the best.
Yeah.
That great. There's a great helicopter shot with the flames going all the way down the road. That's brilliant, right? Nothing in this movie action-wise. Yeah, this is he's so thin in this scene. This is another reshoot scene.
Yes, he comes home, the doors are open, and he thinks something's going on.
It's so thin.
So he sneaks in, and she's waiting.
Yeah. Which is it's funny because I watched the director's cut and then I watched the theatrical cut. And the funny thing is when there's a scene where he comes in and he sees her reading the book and he's asking her about playing the market or whatever. And in the director's cut, he's just banged. What's his name?
Seagal?
Yeah, George Seagal's mistress. But that scene with him coming in and meeting her after he's just had sex with her is still in this movie. And when I watch it, I'm going, so he still had sex with her. And his performance, because he's like, you look tired, Stick. She says that to him, you look tired. And he's like, oh, And yeah, he's tired because he just had sex with someone. But that whole scene is still in this. That's funny to me.
Raven with Burt Reynolds doesn't ring a bell. You know that?
It's a 90s sort of 2000 action film. I've not seen it, but I do want to.
He was in the.
I need to sort of make my way through some of his later stuff, which I'm kind of dreading. Right? There's the one. There's a one he actually plays an out-and-out villain. The Maddening.
Right. No, because
it's probably terrible, but because I did see him in that one with Stallone. Was it Driven? Is that what it's called? Driven?
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that because it just.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Of course, he was Dukes of Hazzard TV remake. Not TV remake.
The Dukes of Hazzard remake was okay.
Yeah.
That was as good as you can make a Dukes of Hazzard movie, really.
Yeah. Hard Ground. A lot of TV movies. Hard Ground, Miss Letty and Me, Johnson Country War, Time of the Wolf, episode of The X-Files.
But there's one. Did they not do a film that was written by Ian Hislop? A bunch of amateurs. It's like a British sort of
Is that recent?
ensemble comedy. And Burt Reynolds is in that, and I think he's trying to be like a theatre actor. That I might watch. I might watch Burt Reynolds.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
He was in not another movie.
Wrote the screenplay, and I think it's got Derek Jacobi in it. So
a bunch of amateurs there. It's 2008.
That's
got a good review.
That seems like something that sounds interesting. I think your video is frozen.
Oh yeah, there you go. Driven was ass.
Yeah, Driven was ass.
Direct-to-video B action movie. That was a fun one. 96, which was because he did a series called Hard Time, TV movies, Waterproof, The Crew.
Hal Needham wrote the second one. Hal Needham directed like the second one of them.
There you go. Hard Time, The Premonition, Hard Time in 98. Yeah, so it's 3 of those. 2 Universal Soldier TV movies that have got the lowest. Oh, Big City Blues, Crazy 6. So we did Crazy 6. It's got a 2.7, and Boogie Nights with a 7.9 in the same year. And which one do you think he's more proud of?
Yeah, I think the reason
Raven.
he didn't win the Oscar. I think the reason he didn't win the Oscar is he didn't campaign for it. He didn't really promote Boogie Nights. I think he was embarrassed of being in a film that was about pornography, that was humanizing pornographers, right? And Burt Reynolds didn't agree with that. He didn't agree with it, but his agent was like, "You need to make this movie. It's going to be brilliant, right?" And the script's amazing, but he did it out of that because I'd heard someone. I don't know if it was that he fired his agent or something because of Boogie Nights.
I seem to remember him firing an agent. Now you mention it.
That's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's like one of his best roles. It's his one of his most controversial, and it's one of his best. May even be his last great part.
Yeah. Go ahead, fuck her in the ass. But yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, they did get Bart to say some crazy stuff.
Oh, he's in The Name of the Dragon, whatever number it is. Even Statham's in that in 2007, I think. Uwe Boll film.
But I can't wait till Gator gets to that chapter. The Boogie Nights chapter is going to be really interesting.
Copperhalf was his last theatrical release main starring role.
Oh no, it's fucking fresh.
Oh, is that me or him? The Darkness has got Terrence. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Slightly Man. Is he? There you go. You're back. I think you froze, or I froze, or someone froze. Yeah, he hated that line. Makes it even funnier, I think. But yeah, Burt was going broke because how many divorces had he been through since like the 70s?
Only one. He got divorced in the 60s to Judy.
Yeah.
What's her name? Can't remember. And Lonnie Anderson. Just one. But apparently she had expensive tastes. You watched the Ruby Wax when Ruby Wax interviewed Burt Reynolds. That was really good. They were good together, actually. Of all the Ruby Wax kind of meets, that's one of the funniest because Burt Reynolds gets her humor. As soon as he meets Ruby Wax, he's like, "Oh, I get you. I can work with you." Right? Because you can see that she's a sort of smart aleck comic, and he's just playing along with it. But if you want to see one where it doesn't work, is watch Ruby Wax interview Bill Cosby.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Yeah, Bill Cosby just becomes an absolute bully to her. He just bullies her. It's really horrible. And knowing what you know now about Bill Cosby, it makes it even more horrible. But when you actually see the interview with Bill Cosby, it's horrible. It's horrible.
I've got an early morning erection for you, blues for you, baby.
O.J. Simpson is nicer to Ruby Wax than Bill Cosby. Seriously, it's horrible. But the Burt Reynolds one is brilliant. Burt Reynolds is hilarious.
There you go. Did you see Bad God by Phil Tippett, Terrence?
I appreciate the artistry, but I was kind of bored during.
Is that the one that took many years?
It's Phil Tippett who did the effects for RoboCop 2. And he'd been
Jurassic.
working on it for 30 years with a group of students. And there's even a sequence where Alex Cox is in it and he's been animated. It's quite incredible. It's incredible craftsmanship. But I honestly was sitting there like snoozing through it. Right? It takes 30 years to make this thing. And I'm like, I feel like such a bastard. But I'm
just
sorry.
a tiny amount.
I'm sorry,
Just
Doctor.
just
That's
a
how I
tiny
felt. Right. Here I am talking about Stick. Oh, here we go. Racial slur. And that's the thing that I don't understand about Mookie is there's prejudice from him, right? And he's a minority, you know? And that's what I think it is this movie is about different
It's a bully.
factions, different minorities, different groups.
Flying there.
Yeah, he really flies. But he drops the N-word there before he blows him away. And I'm kind of like, yeah, Mookie, you're you know, maybe that's it. He's just a product of his environment. Everybody's always calling him bunny eyes or whatever. So he's just full of hate as well.
Yeah. So Lonnie, what have I seen her in that isn't Stroker Ace?
Oh,
Someone's mentioned Three Ninjas.
What's WKRP in Cincinnati?
I used to watch that when it was on. I don't think I've seen it since though.
It's very funny. She's brilliant in it. You can see why she became a big star. She's
Gambler
actually
5.
Good actor.
Munchie.
She's actually a really good actor.
So yeah, she's in Bale Striker, one episode.
Yeah,
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Love All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's a classic.
The Lonely Guy as herself. So Grace. That's about it, really. So yeah, it's more TV work. You son of a bitch! Right, here we go.
Yeah.
Strap in.
Yeah. Which is this is kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark in a kind of way, right? Because if Stick just left these guys to their own devices, they would have just killed each other anyway, right? just like Indiana Jones, if he just minded his own business, the Nazis would have just wiped themselves out, right? So,
well, yes.
And in both carts, this is the same. This sequence is exactly the same. He's taking Chucky's drugs. He's going to throw them away, and Chucky's like, no, and then he just.
There you go. Well.
And that's what I feel like. You don't feel like you get the payoff. You don't get the payoff of Burt Reynolds gets to kill the bad guy.
No, you think he's gonna?
Yeah,
that's gonna take his wig off and humiliate him at first.
He gets to sadistically watch Mookie die and not help him and let him know that he's not going to help him. So that's kind of that's kind of good.
He's an Enrique. Oh, in T2. That's him.
Still another scene to go after this, though. There's still
yeah, you think it's all over? Everyone's dead. Charles Durham said, "Yeah, you go for it."
Yeah, it isn't for everyone, Doctor. Stick is. It's a flawed movie.
Charles Durham's dead.
It's not. I'm not going to defend this film and say it's a great movie. For me, it's an enjoyable watch because I don't find it boring, and that's the biggest offense a movie can make for me is be boring, and Stick is not boring. It's just all over the place.
Yeah, I do love how he goes out shooting.
And I do prefer the director's cut is like 10-15 minutes shorter, and I do prefer it. I think it's a decent little crime thriller. More crime caper than thriller. There we go.
Yeah. Dar was very pleased he managed to get the 6 shots up.
But then they have to put the dummy in.
They didn't need the dummy.
But that's an amazing shot, especially when you've got. I mean, it's 1984, right? When they shot that, and you've got people walking behind them, and it doesn't look like a blue screen.
No,
it's a piece of art. That's what it is. And it's good.
If you look at the setup, it's just bits of wood and some rods. It's not even proper thick rods or anything. It's just a bit of wood and.
It's remarkable.
Pulleys and that he made
And you think
himself.
of the history of stunt work going all the way back to Buster Keaton and people like that, right? Dar Robinson he's right up there, you know. And that shot is I can't imagine what it must have been like on the big screen to see Stick on the big screen just for that one shot. Just whoa, that must have looked amazing.
I think I saw
Yeah,
when he
there's a
first
couple of
falls, you see
frames.
a cable.
Yeah, it looks like he's. But you know that could be just Mookie hitting a ball or something. But here's something I've watched. I watched another Stick-related video, not from Gator because
oh dear.
Gator won't say a bad word about Burt Reynolds, right? Like, he's biased that way, right? But there was another channel that was talking about Stick. And they said, if Mookie was hanging down, why didn't he just drop to the balcony below?
The swinging Mookie.
Yeah, right. Because when you see the hotel, does it not look as though there's like...
It does look like he's hanging there and he could just
drop to the one below.
walk across, climb across just a little bit.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention,
Oh, Josh, I'm an advocate for release every cut. Release.
Well, yeah, might as well have 2 copies of everything.
Yeah. See this whole kind of like I personally prefer the original cut of Aliens, the theatrical cut of Aliens, but I was totally grateful when they brought out Aliens.
Oh yeah, I bought that thing straight away.
Yeah, where it was like 12 minutes extra, right? As much as in hindsight, I kind of go, well, that stuff doesn't really matter. It doesn't make the movie any better, but I still enjoy seeing it. And when you've got that like 3-hour TV cut of Superman, I'm like, yeah, give me it.
Exactly. They got 3 versions on the deep Blu-ray or something.
I still prefer the theatrical cut of Superman, right? But do it for all of them. Any movie, do it
Chuck
for
the
them
TV
all.
version on.
Why have they not done it with Star Wars? All those deleted scenes in Star Wars, they could polish them up, get them in there, give us a big bloated cut of Star Wars.
Yeah,
right?
you don't have to watch it.
It's not going to hurt because as long as they don't take away the original, which George Lucas did, you're right. Then it's fine because even though Ridley Scott made his director's cut of Blade Runner, there was no time when he said, "Oh, stop watching the original cut of Blade Runner. You can still watch it. You still have the choice." And yeah, I'm all for that. More bloated cuts, more weird cuts, fan cuts. Yeah. I love editing, and I love, as they always say, the movie is made in the edit. You know.
It is. But yeah,
I think Stick did go straight to VHS.
I can't see a release date in the US, but I know Dr. Impossible says it did. But yeah, I remember only seeing it on the shelves in the shops.
Yeah. I'm not sure because probably Cannonball 2 was probably his last theatrical release throughout the 80s because Heat didn't get theatrical release.
No, I don't. I guess I don't know. Switching channels, but
switching channels did, yeah.
But he's not the star of that,
Kristen
really.
Reeve and Kathleen Turner.
I remember that one on video, but yeah, I don't remember.
I'm sure that got a theatrical.
It might have been on film 88 or whatever it was. I saw it. But yeah,
he was pretty much
as a star, main actor. He's probably is Cop and a Half. I guess he's the main star of that, and that got a cinema release.
Cop and a Half was a comeback movie,
yeah.
And that did get a theatrical release over here.
Cameo in The Player. Yeah, switching channel. Rent-A-Cop, Malone, Heat, episode of The Golden Girls, Stick. Yeah, Stick.
I think Breaking In, because of Bill Forsyth, got a theatrical release here. Bill Forsyth was a name at the time, Gregory's Girl. And the newspaper could really market it on that, like, oh, look at the Scottish director that's doing well in America making a movie with Burt Reynolds, of all people. Isn't that cool?
Breaking In came out in 1990, August 1990.
Yeah, I do like Breaking In's good. John Sayles is amazing though. He's a brilliant writer, great director, Lone Star.
Yes, Lone Star's great.
Oh yeah. Lone Star, Meituan, what other films has he directed? The Return of the Secaucus 7. He's one of the great, maybe one of the greatest American independent film directors, and his screenplays just kick ass. Or Piranha, The
I was say
Howling.
Piranha.
Yeah.
Did he do Alligator?
Battle Beyond the Stars. He wrote Battle Beyond the Stars and Breaking In as well.
8 Men Out.
He's a terrific. And this, I don't know where Gator managed to find those clips, because his section on Breaking In was brilliant, where he had, like, you could hear Bill Forsyth talking about Burt Reynolds and John Sayles as well. I don't know where he got them, because there's no, like, I don't think there's a director's cut. There's not a deluxe DVD of that film. It's kind of forgotten. And but yeah, this ended so cliche. I'm sorry.
It is, isn't it? They got the gun that's on the poster.
Yeah, it's just like he's just like walking into straight to video here, isn't he? Like, he's inventing the straight to video.
I don't know how he did it, because he shoots the guy that's got his daughter, but then there were still 2 other guys at the front with guns, and he got the better of them somehow.
It's quite lazy, man. But I don't hate it. I'm just kind of like, honestly, if I have a choice of watching Stick, I will watch the director's cut every time. Even though the picture quality sucks, it's tonally right. It's the tone. The George Siegel annoying character tone is throughout the director's cut, whereas this is like, we want to make it into Rambo. And this doesn't make sense as well. He doesn't kill Nestor.
No, I've wondered why. What happens?
Yeah, and you're kind of like, this guy's a hardened drug lord.
Yeah, he's just going to come back and kill you, the woman, the girl.
Exactly. Why are you letting him live?
Your family.
Right? That's just dumb, right?
I thought the Scorpions were going to get him.
You see this guy does to people's noses, right?
Yeah, this guy's not going to forgive you.
It's like, it's very slapdash.
Yeah, he wasn't, like you said, he wasn't involved in the director's cut. And I was just crying in the corner.
Crockett and Tubbs would not have let that motherfucker.
No.
This ending makes no sense. It's like, it's like, I was disgusted by him, but now I'm just going to turn the car around because.
But I've never been this much in love with you. It happened so fast. I'm afraid
I always love that cliche of 80s action films where it's Commando, Running Man, Alien Nation, where it's like, we've just murdered like dozens of people. Let's end it on this cheesy love ballad.
Yeah.
Right? I kind of miss that. It's like, we just had all this bloodshed. Let's just have the Four Tops come in and sing this.
Bernadette.
The Running Man does it, and Alien Nation is another one where it's just. Have you ever done that? You ever done a live stream for Alien Nation?
No, I don't have that, which is weird.
I used to have it. I should have kept it. Alien Nation.
I had it back in the day, probably, but yeah.
Yeah, the TV show wasn't half bad either.
No, I did hear that. I never saw it.
Kenneth Johnson. Did you try and get Kenneth Johnson?
I think I did. Didn't get a reply. Unless
Kenneth Johnson makes me look lost for words. Seriously, he is the most talkative guy in film and brilliant. He's just a legend, absolute legend.
The writer of The Curse of Dracula. Is that him?
No, he directed Short Circuit 2, created V, the Incredible Hulk TV series.
There's a lot of Kenneth Johnson.
That's the Kenneth Johnson. I mean, the legend.
The legend, Kenneth Johnson. I put that.
Yes.
Kenneth Johnson. Find him.
The Librarians. William Forsythe, Daniel Bernard was also in it. Burt.
There's a lot of Kenneth Johnsons. Come on, narrow it down, you bastards. Writer, producer, director. Let me check his filmography. It might be the same one. Hang on. V.
I'll do
the
my
movie
own stream for Cop and a Half and Baby
Did
Geniuses.
Steel, Mighty Ducks 3. Short Circuit 2. There we go. So, yeah, there it is.
Especially with Baby Geniuses. My God.
What?
Someone's going to do... This guy's going to do Baby Geniuses on his stream.
No, he isn't. Or fucking Cop and a Half. I think I've seen that once. Short Circuit 2. Much
right. It's okay. Lee Sharkey, you know. He was on his road out at the time. Look him up. His story was pretty dark. Burt Reynolds, Charles Bronson doing an action movie to get... Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. You think that was City Heat? Charles Bronson's kind of a similar counterpart to Clint Eastwood. He doesn't say a lot, but, you know, carries a big gun and, you know... I see you believe in Jesus. I like him going all Death Wish 3 at the end. It just feels so tacked in there, you know, and his heart's not in it. It's just like he's just wanting to get it over with. It really shows.
Baby Jesus, yes. Tens of views. I won't be one of them.
You really need to visit the current BFI Film Festival in London. Star Wars is shown in its original Technicolor strip print. Wow. Oh, wow. Is that teasing that they're going to bring it out in the original version? Who made that legal? How are they allowed to show the...
Yes, because I guess...
Yeah.
They don't have any...
They don't own it. Disney own it, right? So Disney can do whatever the fuck they want, but I'm sure Lucas probably made a clause somewhere where it's like, you can't release it.
Yeah, I saw the librarians.
I don't really care. I've seen Star Wars enough times that I don't really need to see it again, right? Unless I feel the same way about Predator. I don't need to see Predator again. I've seen it enough times, to be honest.
There you go.
Smokey and the Bandit. No, I can still watch that again and again because there's still nuance there that I've not seen. I'm going to try and figure out how to make a Diablo sandwich. I saw a clip of a different ending to this one before Candice is in the car. It's on YouTube. Yeah. See, what happens is when when Moki dies, right? The whole scene with Nestor and the machine guns and the scorpions, that doesn't happen in the director's cut. That's all added. The director's cut is much shorter. It ends with Chucky and Moki falling off the building, and Burt looks down at Moki and he says something really cold to him, and Moki dies. And Candice realizes, man, this guy is a cold-hearted killer, right? She without saying it, she can see that Burt Reynolds is a callous motherfucker. So she leaves him, and the movie ends. The movie ends with her leaving him, seeing that, you know, I'm not ready for you, and it plays that song, I'm not ready for you, which makes sense to the scene because she's not ready. She's not ready to mess with criminals like Stick. And the movie ends on that, and that makes sense. And this movie makes no freaking sense. Where she's like, she comes the car, and it's nonsense.
Change the song.
Yeah, but they've already paid for it, right? And
yeah.
They cut out the Jimmy Buffett song, right? Which is really nice. I like the Jimmy Buffett song. Do yourself a favor, look up the intro sequence for the director's cut. It's there, the original intro, Jimmy Buffett. You cannot hear the song anywhere on planet Earth. Jimmy Buffett never released it. It's not in his discography anywhere, but it's there. It's the original intro to Stick. It's one of the great lost songs. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dard did do the Chucky jump in a padded suit. He did, but he did it on a crash mat. I don't think he used the decelerator for the Chucky.
Yeah. All right. Let's have a look.
Are you talking about? Who's talking about peeing? Are we talking about peeing?
not at this time of night.
What's that? The Sword and the Sorcerer, Albert Pune. Oh,
yeah. Burt was in one of his B movies with Ice-T and Mary Van Peebles, the star of
He was a
Exterminator
legend.
2.
Well, to me, see these directors that made something out of nothing, and he's one of them. He deserves his respect, right? Because did he not do Cyborg? Was it Cyborg that he did?
I think so, yes. But
Yeah.
he did not Legion. Slinger, wasn't it? His cut.
He was pretty much the go-to director for Canon when they were taking the furniture away. Right? it's like okay, like we be on the set. Here's the call sheet. We turn up on the set. No, this has all been repossessed. It's like, okay, let's do something else then. You know?
We'll just use this empty warehouse for a set now.
Yeah. And that to me is real filmmaking right there. Yeah.
Right, let's wrap this up. Yeah, the Slinger version is Toilet. Yeah, it's a different score. It's in black and white. It's totally different cut.
What's the Slinger version?
It's the director's cut of Cyborg. It's only available on the Germany Blu-ray, I think, in a limited edition.
All right, I've not seen that.
Yeah, not many people have. I think Jeff's seen it and a few others.
Oh,
Nighthawks. By the sound of it.
Nighthawks is underrated.
Yeah, I love Nighthawks.
Do you remember in the early 2000s when we were getting all these terrorist threats in London at the time because you had the 7/7 tragedy on the subway, and then there was this Brazilian guy that got shot in the back by the police.
Yeah,
remember that happened.
Yeah,
straight away at the time I thought about Nighthawks. I think that movie got it. The whole idea of like you're training the local police to basically kill on sight at seeing someone. That's played out in Nighthawks rather well. You know, I think that's a really underrated cop movie.
Yeah, that's missing half an hour, allegedly.
Yeah, and it also does this great trick where it doesn't pay all the copyright to all the songs that it uses. Because there's a sequence where Stallone and Billy D. Williams are going to different nightclubs trying to find Rutger Hauer. And you see them outside this nightclub, and it's playing like a bit of Rod Stewart, and then you play in this next nightclub, and they're playing a little bit of Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know, but not enough for them to fill the whole scene, right? But just enough for us to go, hey, I know that song. Oh, I know that song. Oh, I know that song. And they're cutting from them to going from one nightclub to the other until they get to the scene where they see Rutger Hauer. And I like that because I feel like I'm getting all the goodness of all those songs in such a short space of time. But I know that the filmmakers are going, we can't afford to play the whole song. Play little bits of it, you know?
Maybe if it's guerrilla filming, it's allowed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good.
Right, there we go then. Yep, sell that film.
A career in marketing. Sell that film.
Yeah.
Oh,
new versions of the Nighthawks ruin the nightclub music. I'm going to see what my VHS has got.
Well, do they? Because I just remember my old VHS of it. I haven't watched it since I had it on CIC video.
Yeah, I got the stripy box.
I don't imagine it was much different. I had the pre-cert, but it was scratchy, man. It was so scratchy. Nighthawks.
Yeah. What's next? Dark Crystal is on Thursday night.
Dark Crystal. Awesome.
Is it?
Yeah. And Sesame Street's now on Netflix. Thanks to
Donald
Trump.
A massive budget, so Oscar doesn't have to live in the garbage can anymore.
Oh, Josh, my passion for Burt Reynolds is unmatched compared to Gator McCluskey. Go over to Gator McCluskey's channel and start from the beginning. He's got the whole biography of Burt Reynolds in a very entertaining, engaging way. Seriously, you will thank me. You will thank me for recommending this channel.
I always listen to his
stuff. It's ridiculously brilliant. Ridiculously brilliant. That's it. Get on that channel. Give him a sub and watch his stuff. It's really entertaining. It's the best Burt Reynolds. Honestly, Burt Reynolds would be absolutely blown away by how much this guy loves Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
It's contagious. The only reason I'm on here watching Stick and Sharky's Machine is because of Gator. Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for that.
but there's, I don't want to. There's only so much I can talk about Highlander. I'm sorry. I draw the line.
There are 5 films. There are 5 Highlander films.
I know, but I draw the line at 2. Find another Scottish guy.
Well, I would say this is a surprise. I've just ordered that VHS of Malone, so we'll see.
Oh, nice one with the big box.
Yeah, I think it's a bit. Yeah, it's
nice.
X-Rental big box. It's the only one available. So we'll try that. Yes, that's a good way to end it. Yes, rest in peace, Burt Reynolds, or come round and haunt me. I will ask you some questions.
Yeah,
but yeah, good old Burt, bless him.
Brilliant.
There's 50 versions of Highlander 2. Yeah.
Well, as I told Gareth before, the first version I ever saw, the first Highlander movie I saw was Highlander 2 in the theatre. I had no clue what these movies were about. And that movie was not helping at all. And that
Sean Connery
version is become really rare now. It's like, the whole Planet Zeus.
Yeah, I've got it on, I guess, VHS is about the only place. Or
do you have the X-Rental Highlander 2?
No, I used to.
You need to get it because it's got the old chin heads advert, the old McEwen's Lager advert with the upside down chin heads thing. That's on it. McEwen's Lager is disgusting toilet water beer, right? But the advert was hilarious.
Yes, from our new sponsor, McEwen's Pinker's Craft Brewery.
Yeah.
They do proper beer. Right, let's say goodnight because it is only Tuesday after all, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a school night. Come on.
It is a school night. So we'll play you out with this. We'll say thanks to Terence for turning up again. And,
Born you all to death with my non-stop fucking perennial chatterbox mouth.
That's exactly why we have you on, for your education on movies, especially canon films.
Old man shouts at clouds. That's it.
All right, take care, everyone. We'll see you next time, and we'll end with this.
Isn't this a school day?